Hello, and welcome to the Secrets to Plant-Based Living Summit, how to use food to have radiant health, mental clarity, and boundless energy. I'm your host, Sandra Cotto, and I've brought together 21 of the most influential doctors, athletes, authors, chefs, and coaches to help you understand what plant-based living looks like, what it can do for your health, and how you can transform your life to live more vibrantly. And I'd like to welcome today's guest, Thomas Tadlock. Thomas is a celebrity trainer, a patent holder, and the #1 best-selling author. He has been recognized as one of the top 5 trainers in the USA, with his first personal training company winning the Best of Award 7 years in a row, and his second company becoming the largest indoor fitness boot camp in Orange County, California. He was MTV's 2003 Hottest Body and is currently the host of the #1 vegan fitness and bodybuilding podcast on iTunes, The Vegan Body Revolution Show, with hundreds of thousands of subscribers worldwide. He has successfully led trainings for thousands of individuals, organizations, and entrepreneurs nationwide, including professional recording artists, models, and entrepreneurs. He is a master trainer for 3 different fitness companies and has been featured on multiple DVDs, fitness DVDs. He has also been sought after and has worked with top personal trainers of celebrities like Britney Spears, Oprah Winfrey, and professional sports teams like the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, to name a few. He holds a master's degree in exercise science and health promotion and 8 national fitness and health certifications. He is an internationally recognized trainer, educator, and has authored the weight loss programs for the fitness equipment company behind the hit TV show, The Biggest Loser. Thomas, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much. It's so good to be here.
Yes, it's such a pleasure to have you. I first heard about you in my favorite magazine called the Vegan Health and Fitness Magazine. And this is the latest copy, which is actually all the vegans who are fit over 40. And you were featured in here. So I had to show that, let everybody know. And that's when I think you've been on a couple of issues, right? On Vegan Health and Fitness.
That's my second front cover. I've been featured in more than one issue, but that's my second being featured on the front cover.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. Yeah. So I heard your work and I thought, gotta have you on the show, as we are really hoping to spread the word about a plant-based lifestyle and what it can do for people's health and how people have transformed. And of course, being a trainer like yourself and plant-based, I knew that you would have a lot of value and people would get a lot out of today's interview. So I know that you're going to be sharing with us a presentation. So if you want to go ahead and.
Yeah, here's where we're going to start.
Okay.
So I guess long time ago, I started off as a computer scientist. I mean, today we're going to be talking about the information that's in my book, Miracle Metabolism. So I'm going to be teaching straight from the book, and everybody's going to get a lot of value out of it on how to raise their metabolism. And where I got into all of this stuff is way back when I was thinking about where am I going to go for college, what am I going to do with my life? I decided I was going to become a computer scientist. So I was really nerdy back then. So a lot of people ask me, wow, you must be naturally gifted. You must have some great natural physical abilities. Your parents must be so fit. And the answer is no. I was a really nerdy, skinny kid back when I was in high school and going through college. And I didn't have any desire to be a fitness person in any way or teach health. I wanted to just be a nerdy programmer and do my thing. Well, what happened was, this was back right before the first .com bubble popped back in 2002, February 2002. And my career didn't work out so well. I mean, I graduated from college with a degree in computer science and mathematics. And the best I could get for a job was a little job earning me $23,500 a year. Now, even to those standards back then in like 1998, it's really bad. I mean, it's very difficult to live on that amount of money, but I stuck with it, and I just couldn't get it to work out for me. So then I decided, I want to do something way different. I want to get into fitness, and here's why. Because when I started working software, my health started to really deteriorate, because when I was working software, I would spend hours upon hours sitting in the same position at the desk, eating the worst diet humanly imaginable. I called it the computer scientist diet. We had personal pizzas, Mountain Dew, or if you remember, Jolt Cola because of the extra caffeine content. So there, we like Jolt Cola because of the high caffeine content. It allowed us to pull all-nighters.
Right.
You see, once you get a rhythm going with programming, you don't want to stop. In fact, you just want to keep programming until the software is complete. And people wonder why there's bugs in software programs. Anyway, my health really started to deteriorate. I had, by my early 20s, I had hypertension. I went to give some blood, and I had an extremely high iron content. I had chondromalacia in both knees. I had lower back pain. I had bilateral shoulder tendonitis, where if I tried to lift my arms over my head, it felt like two knives were getting stabbed into my shoulders. And all of this, and I had high cholesterol on top of that. All of this by my early 20s. This was not good. Then something terrible happened. My best friend in the whole world at 24 years old dies. He dies of testicular cancer. And it was a moment that really shook me up. And I realized if I don't change something fast, then I am right behind him. So that's when I went on a quest to learn everything I can to change my body. And all I did was I figured, you know what? Personal trainers seem to be in really, really good shape. Let me learn what personal trainers learn, let me get a personal training certification so I can use that to better my health. I had no intention to train anybody. Well, I studied really hard. I mean, there was one thing that I was really good at is I was a really good student. You teach me something, I will listen to everything. I'll do all the homework and I'll apply it. And in a very short period of time, I was able to reverse all of my body issues. I reversed my chondromalacia. I reversed my shoulder tendonitis. My lower back pain went away. And I created the most amazing body I ever thought I could possibly have. And that's when a casting, a person who's involved with the casting of these MTV shows saw me and said, listen, you'd be perfect for this show. Why don't you come and apply? And it happened to be a hot body contest for the tri-state area. And yeah, I ended up getting on it, and I was on MTV back in 2003. I know I'm dating myself right now, but that was the Summer Survival Guide. It was called the Summer Survival Guide kickoff.
Right.
And, well, that was that experience. Anyway, after I did that, I decided, you know what? I'm done with software, and I'm just going to devote myself to helping other people achieve their fitness goals from here on out. So that's how I got into fitness. Then I met my wife. Now, it had nothing to do with fitness. I met Brooke back in the day. I think you've interviewed her. This is Dr. Goldner.
Dr. Goldner, yes.
Best-selling author of Goodbye Lupus. I met her back in the day when she had lupus. So you can see in this picture, this is where I met her. And she said, listen, are you sure you want to marry me? I said, why? And she broke it to me that she had lupus. Now, at this point, we had fallen madly in love. I know. I mean, we took a long time. It was like a good 2 to 3 weeks. But we were like, we want to get married. This is amazing. And she put the brakes on it. She said, are you sure you want to marry me? Because I've got this disease called lupus. I had no idea what lupus was. But what she told me was that she's not going to be able to have my children. She's going to be in severe pain very, very soon. And I'm going to have to start taking care of her. And if she's lucky, she's going to live at the longest to like her early 40s. And I thought, oh gosh, why me? And I just made the decision right there. You know what? If it's going to be a short life, it's going to be the best damn life you have ever had. I would rather spend a short life with you than a lifetime with anybody else. So she said, okay, well then let's get married. And before we got married, she said, I want you to get me in shape though before I get married, because we're going to get married in Maui, and I'm going to be taking lots and lots of photos in a beautiful dress and in my swimsuit. And since you're Mr. MTV celebrity trainer here, then I want you to train me. I said, well, you've married the right guy if that's what you want. So I trained Brooke. It took about 90 days for her to go through this transformation where you see her in about a size 10 in this picture down to a size 2, 3 in 90 days. And she looked amazing. We took great, amazing pictures. And here's what's wild. So we get back from our wedding, and she says, I got to get my blood work done. I got to test for my lupus and kind of see where it is. So she goes to the doctor, and now you got to realize that I'm watching her every single day just inject these blood thinners into her body every single day just to be able to keep blood clots from forming in her brain. It was a horrible, horrible thing to witness. Every single morning she had to inject herself with these medications that they were saving her life, but they weren't doing her health a lot of good. So she goes, gets her blood test done, and the results come back negative for lupus. We're going, what is going on here? We've never heard of this. This is medically impossible. What's going on? And so she gets another test done because the doctor just assumes there's no way this could actually be going on where the lupus is gone. We must have your blood work switched with somebody else. So she goes again, results come back. There's no lupus. There's no trace of it. There's nothing. And we're going, oh my goodness, this is amazing. Now, at this point, we had no idea that we had stumbled upon any sort of cure or anything. We just thought we got super, super lucky. So let's just keep this going as long as we can. Now, one thing they say about lupus is if you have lupus, do not ever try to have a child, because if you try to get pregnant and you get pregnant, it's going to kill you and it's going to kill your child too. So we thought about it long and hard, and we thought, let's do the responsible thing and let's get pregnant. So Brooke was pregnant with our first child, and everybody was flipping out. She's getting her blood work done and monitored. The OB is flipping out. She's like, oh my gosh, you're going to be my first death. Oh my gosh, this is going to be terrible. But you know what? Nothing bad happened. And we had our baby, and that was Solomon, and he was born perfectly. Brooke's health was perfect. And this is what really, really amazed me. And this is what inspired the book that I wrote, Miracle Metabolism, is in 9 days, she had first gained 30 pounds to have a 6.6 ounce baby. And in just 9 days, she went from being 30 pounds heavier down to fitting in her size 4 skinny jeans in just 9 days. I thought, this is unreal, because at the time, I had built up a boot camp business. I had at the time, the single largest indoor fitness boot camp in all of Orange County, California. And the majority, I had over 1,500 members. And the majority of my members were women. And they were there because they were trying to get their post-pregnancy weight off of them. And I mean, some of them have been carrying it on their bodies for 10, even 20 years. And we're trying to get them back to looking like they did before they gave birth to their first child. And then here's Brooke. She goes from this to that in 9 days. I thought, wow, something amazing happened. And again, I'm not cluing in on the lupus part. What I am thinking is whatever I had her do, whatever the nutrition program was or the exercise program was, I really raised her metabolism, because during her pregnancy, she did not do any exercise or anything of the sort. And then this was what really blew me away. So a few months later, she finally decides to start working out again. So keep in mind, none of this is with any working out. Several months later, almost a year into it, she finally decides, I'm going to go, I'm strong enough now, I'm going to go and get to the gym, and I want to get my body really ripped. And it only took 21 more days to get her in super ripped condition. So there she is holding Solomon just before he was 1 year old, and Brooke's totally ripped now. It's like she was never, ever, ever pregnant. And in fact, in better shape than she's ever been.
And Thomas, and this has all been on plants, right? While she's eating a whole food plant-based diet?
I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that. So at the time, what she did was I put her on my typical routine that I would get celebrities ready for their TV appearances. So this is rapid fat loss. We got to raise the metabolism as high as possible. And we're not going to use a deprivation approach. We're going to use a hypernourishing approach. So what I had her eat was super high amounts of raw vegetables, which is what I had all my clients that needed to lose a lot of body fat fast. That's what they ate. And high omega-3s and high protein. Protein usually came from meat, but because she was vegetarian at the time, all I did was I switched out the meat for things like tofu and soybeans. And that's all we did. And by doing that, we accidentally put her on a 100% plant-based diet. So then we put it to the test again. Brooke got pregnant a second time, and she had a flawless pregnancy, and she had Alex. Now we've got 2 kids, and there she is, just months after giving birth to Alex. She is posing for another feature in Vegan Health and Fitness magazine. So at this point, I knew we had done something amazing, and that inspired the book Miracle Metabolism. So what I'm going to show you right now, it doesn't matter how bad you think your metabolism is, I'm going to show you how to create a miracle metabolism right now by doing exactly what Brooke did. So are you ready?
All right, we're ready.
All right, let's do it. So the first thing is, we got to add in what's missing, because typically when it comes to a low performing metabolism, it's just simply there's a matter of a lack of nutrients. That's really it. I mean, and you know what's funny is that hunger doesn't tell you if you've got a lack of nutrients or not. Your metabolism does. So when it comes to the foods that we eat, the things that have the greatest amount of nutrients are the vegetables, and they have to, and the best form is in the raw form. They're the most untouched, most preserved, nutrient-dense foods that you can possibly eat. So high amounts of produce needs to be in one's diet if you want to raise your metabolism. And I'm going to go over exactly what the amounts are in just a moment. The next thing are omega-3s. This is probably the most misunderstood and neglected part of raising one's metabolism, are the omega-3s. My favorite sources are flax seeds and chia seeds. They're the highest density omega-3 sources that you can go and get at the grocery store, and they cost like $1 to $2 a pound. They're super cheap, and you want to have a high amount of those. You know what, let me go ahead and reveal what that is for you. So back to the raw vegetables. So you want to be getting at least a pound a day if you really want to raise your metabolism, a pound a day. So you go to the store, you find yourself a 16-ounce clamshell box of like spinach or kale, and that's a pound. So you eat the equivalent of that every single day, your health is going to get better. There's no argument about that. And then omega-3s, get yourself about a half a cup, or like the size of a handful of chia seeds or flax seeds, and eat those every single day. Get the whole form, blend them up or grind them up right before you eat them, and you're in good shape. And then finally, the last ingredient is water. And this is amazing. I don't know why it is, but it just seems to be this way, is that when people seem to get about 96 ounces to a gallon of water in, all of a sudden their metabolism goes up. The results get better. They lose more fat. They build more muscle faster. Anything less than 96 ounces, we see a slowdown. And this is not from theory. This is just from working with thousands and thousands and thousands of clients over the past over 15 years. This is just what we've seen. So the hardest thing for a lot of people when I show them this, I'm like, you're going to get a pound of greens every single day. You're going to have all this omega-3s. You're going to have all this water. They think, oh my goodness, this is going to be the most boring, hard thing that I've ever had to eat. Well, we make your life a lot easier because we discovered that this amazing device called a Vitamix, or a high-powered blender.
My favorite.
You put all the ingredients in that baby, and you're going to be set. And that's what I did. So way back in, I discovered this back in 2011. I started experimenting with the Vitamix that we got. And you'll see, I was one of the first smoothie people that was out there putting videos on the internet. And I just put a whole bunch of raw vegetables in because that was my protocol. I was putting huge amounts of raw vegetables in the diets of my clients, high protein and high omega-3s. And we're getting results like crazy. But the problem was it just took forever to eat those pound or more plus greens and vegetables every single day. So then we stuck it in the blender, and oh my gosh, I made the smoothie in 3 minutes, woofed it down in 60 seconds, and thought this is the most convenient thing ever. So I'm going to give you one of my favorite recipes. This is my daily drinker, and the way I've got this laid out for you is in percentages, because not everybody has a Vitamix. So here's real simple. Those of you who are watching right now, take a picture of this or take a screenshot so you have this forever. And if you for some reason don't get this recipe, don't worry about it. I'm going to show you at the very end where you can pull up this recipe and a bunch of other ones for free, where I don't even need your email address. I've got it just out there to the public so you can have this. But we're going to do 75% of your blender is going to be full of greens. So you go to Costco, you get this thing called Power Greens. It's got raw kale, spinach, and chard. Fill it up with some water, and then the rest of the 25% of what's left of the blender, just fill it up with frozen fruit for flavor. You do that, you blend it for 2 to 3 minutes. Oh my goodness, it's going to taste amazing. And then don't forget to put like about a half a cup of flax seeds or chia seeds in there, and you've got yourself a complete fast metabolism meal that's been made in only 2 to 3 minutes, and you can consume in about the same amount of time. So let me show you what this looks like when you apply it to a real person. So back when I had my boot camp, here's Nicole. She came to my boot camp and she said that my overall goal is to lose weight. I want to lose 4 inches from my waist, although I need to lose weight all over. My weight around my middle is what I dislike the most. I've had 4 children. I've not had a flat stomach since my first pregnancy 10 years ago. I have been losing weight slowly but surely since starting the boot camp. I've lost 6.6 pounds in 2 months. So when I look at this, I want to calculate what is the rate of weight loss and just kind of judge that between what they're getting and versus what I'm used to. And when we calculate the weight loss, it's 6.6 and 2 pounds. We're looking at 3.3 pounds per month. Now, in my world, this is not really good at all. Now, the reason is she did my boot camp 5 days a week, but she stayed on her nutrition program, even though I urged her to use mine. But I said, okay, just do your own thing. She's on a 1,200 calorie a day diet. And that's what she did. And these are the results she got. And I said, you know what? You can get way better results. I said to her, these are not good results. I can get you way better results. All you got to do is use my eating protocol and we'll raise your metabolism. So that's what we did. So when I looked at her diet, here's what she was eating before. Breakfast, non-fat latte, Kashi Goleen cereal with milk or yogurt, poached egg on an English muffin, toasted turkey, cheese, avocado, Diet Coke, dinner, roasted chicken, cooked vegetables, and 32 ounces of water. This was an 1,100 calorie meal. Now, a lot of people would say, well, you know what? This looks like a sensible weight loss meal. But let's look at it from a metabolism standpoint. Number one, is the nutrient density high or low? It's definitely on the low side. The only thing she's got nutrient density in is the avocado and maybe the vegetables. Omega-3s, they're completely devoid. And then water intake, high or low, 32 ounces, in my world, that's low. If you're not getting 96 or more, you're low. So we had all the symptoms of a low metabolism diet. And then even though her calories were low, 1,100 calories, she must be starving all the time. So here's what we did. We set it up so that I gave her a scoreboard to really do a point system to make her successful on my plan. Number one, she got a point if she worked out that day. Number two, she got a point if she drank 96 ounces of water. She got another point if she drank 3 fast metabolism smoothies, because she was a working, busy mom, so she didn't have a lot of time. And also, she liked to chew some food. So, we put omega-3s directly in the smoothies, so she didn't have to think about that. And then she got another point. So it's 5 points if she eats an additional 2 huge fast metabolism meals, which are just gigantic, huge salads. And here's the best part. This is what everybody loves. I said, listen, continue eating all your previous foods as desired. Your kashi, your yogurt, all that stuff. I know it's bad. I know it's not plant-based, but you know what? You're addicted to them. So I want you to keep eating them. So I never want you to resent what you're doing here. Haha. Here's what happens. She scored a 5 every single day. 60 days on the diet she was eating before, with 5 days a week of boot camp, she lost 6.6 pounds, 0 inches off her waist, 0 sizes on her pants. 60 days on what I just taught you, plus the boot camp, same amount of time, she lost 17.9 pounds, 4.5 inches off her waist, 2 pant sizes skinnier. Realize we had her eat more calories than before, and she's never lost this much this fast. Here's the before, here's the after. Look at her waist. Before, after, look at that waist. Before, after. I am fitting into clothes I haven't been able to wear for ages. I look better now than I did when I left. She was from Australia. Everything looks better. So this is what I wanted to show you guys. And the question for a lot of people is, can I do this on my own? And the answer is absolutely. So I created a free community about 1.5 years ago called smoothieshred.com. So you want to look at that website, go there. I got all the recipes for you. I've got access to our private Facebook group where you can join, and then you can get my support and Brooke's support. And these are people doing it on their own, and I'm just showing you how. I've got tons of videos teaching you exactly how to do this. This would be the equivalent of what other people would charge about $3,000 for. You can get it for free just because, Sandra, you're so nice and you decided to have me on this show. So go to smoothieshred.com. Here's some examples of just typical results. Again, these are just people using the guidelines, the videos, and the recipes that I give for free. 4 inches off the waist, 3.5 inches off the waist. 15 pounds lost, 8 pounds lost, 2 inches, 11 pounds off, 5.5 pounds lost, 1.5 inches, 14.9 pounds, hypertensive now to normal, 9 pounds gone, 6 pounds, 1 inch, 1.5 inches off the waist, 8 pounds lost. I mean, this is just normal. You just go to the community and people are posting this stuff all day long. 15 pounds, 1.5 inches, in addition to, well, they're healing from their diseases as well, because this happens to be the exact same eating protocol as we used to get Brooke to reverse her lupus. 5 pounds, 3 inches, 2 inches. Here's a woman who was already super lean and ripped, and what happened was her muscles filled in. She actually gained almost 0.5 pound while still losing 0.5 inch. Your body's going to do what it's ideally wants it to do. So here's 10 pounds, 2 inches. So all day long, you can get these type of results. So again, let me go to the website for you so you can see where to get this free gift right over here, smoothieshred.com. And that's the end of my presentation.
Awesome. Thomas, thank you so much for sharing. I love the visuals that everyone had an opportunity to see. It's an amazing gift, the Smoothie Shred. So for everyone, please be sure to check that out. And it will also be, it's in the daily email that everyone is getting for today's interview, so that'll be easy for them to get to. So thank you so much for sharing all of that insight.
It was my pleasure. And then, of course, the book has got a lot more. It goes into how to do rapid fat loss with your metabolism high, how to do muscle building with your metabolism high, and then how to put it all together.
Fantastic. So Thomas, what would be your number one tip for someone who wants to transition into this lifestyle and they want to start eating more fruits and veggies?
Yes. Okay, great. This is why I created Smoothie Shred, because the majority of my smoothie shredders, they're not even vegan. And they love Smoothie Shred so much because I say, don't stop eating what you're eating. Let that happen naturally, because so many people have so many charged emotions around their food. I mean, especially meat eaters, right? So I say, but they still want the results of a plant-based diet. So what we're doing is we're hyper-nourishing. So if I have you just shove a pound or more of raw vegetables in your body every single day, I have you shove a half a cup of omega-3s and a ton of water every single day, there is no doubt you are going to be healthier. If you have a little bit of animal products here and there on top of that, well, if you're already eating that anyway, adding all these other nutrients in is going to raise your metabolism. And what happens is this: when you eat that volume of food coming from whole plant-based sources, your tastes change, your bacteria change, and you literally start to crave those foods more. And then the desire to eat those meat or animal-based products, they start to naturally go away. I can't tell you how many people we have converted to full-blown vegan that were voracious, quote, carnivores when they came in, and then they did this. They're like, I've never felt better. My energy's never been better. And my goodness, I had symptoms of diseases that are just gone now. And the only thing I did different was do your smoothie shred for 4 weeks. And so at that point, they become really veg curious. They become, well, a lot of them become vegan. Yeah. So the easiest way to transition is to add what you're missing, because meat has no nutrients other than what you think is protein. And most of the starchy foods that you might be eating, I mean, the truth is most of the food that meat eaters already eat is vegan, because look, there's a meat portion and then there's everything else. Well, what's the everything else? It's mostly vegan. So it's not far from where you getting to full vegan. It's not very far from what most people are eating. They just need to be shown how.
Right. Yeah. And I love your point. Like you said, it's just once you start adding in all those delicious foods, and like you said, your taste buds change, your body changes, and when you feel so good, you don't want to go back to those other foods, because you may try them and be like, I don't think I like them that much anymore because of the way I've been eating, and I feel so good.
Of course.
Yeah.
So what are we doing here with raising metabolism? We're hydrating you for the first time ever. Mm-hmm. We're getting you proper omega-3s pretty much for the first time ever. And we're giving you all the best ingredients that your cells need to be able to perform their function. That's why people lose fat so quickly on this protocol. And they're not starving. In fact, they're more full than they've ever been. And that's the whole purpose. I mean, if you're full and happy, that's telling you something. Right. That means that what you're doing is right.
Right. And so, Thomas, I have a question for you on the seeds, the chia seeds and the flax seeds. I know sometimes I see people, they'll sprinkle the chia seeds and the flax seeds on top of a smoothie bowl. But do you find that it's better to grind them, or, for instance, the chia seeds, let them soak so that the body can actually absorb the nutrients from the seed versus eating them like that?
Yes, this is important that you bring this up. So you have to crack them open. Okay. The oil,
that's what I wanted to
make sure. Are on the inside. You have to crack them open. So we just throw them in the smoothies in a Vitamix blender, and it grinds it all up, and it's perfect. If you don't have a powerful blender like that, stick the seeds in a coffee grinder and then consume it immediately after. Soaking, that's totally optional. Doesn't matter. What you don't want to do is buy store-bought ground flax seeds or chia seeds, because omega-3s are very delicate. They oxidize and they become useless very, very quickly with just a little bit of exposure to oxygen. So that's the only thing that's a little bit tricky. So if you throw it in your blender with the smoothie every single day, you're good. You're golden.
You're good. Great. No, I'm glad that we clarified that, because I've seen over and over people eating it just like that. And I'm like, you know what? They're really not getting the nutritional value from it. And like you said, to the point is buying it in the store in its whole and then grinding it up.
That's right. I mean, if you didn't chew it up and, it's coming out the other side when you go to the bathroom, you didn't get the nutrition out of it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. The body can't
break the seed open.
Yeah. The body's not able to break that down. Excellent. Wow.
That's right. That's right. You need teeth or something else.
Right. Yeah. Excellent. All right. Great. Well, one question I've been asking all of my experts is kind of a fun question that I've been asking. If you were on a deserted island and you could choose one fruit and one veggie, what would that be for you?
Okay. One fruit, definitely 100% watermelon. Watermelon. That's my favorite. Lovely. And then with a close second being jackfruit. Holy cow, I just discovered that. Yes. And the vegetable, it could be anyone. You know what? I'm just going to pick spinach because it's easy.
Yeah. Absolutely. Watermelon and jackfruit. So you've experienced jackfruit. It's amazing. The
You just
jackfruit.
got to deal with the white sticky stuff. That's the. I mean, I've ruined a knife already, and it just and it stays on my fingers for a day and a half afterwards. But if I can solve that problem, it will be my number one fruit.
Oh, yeah, no, it is amazing. Well, Thomas, thank you so much for sharing your presentation today. I love the fact that everybody was able to get a visual, and the free gift that you're offering is amazing for everyone to go and get started. And
Thank you.
so would you say one of the easiest probably recipes would be having a smoothie?
100%. You just throw a bunch of stuff in a blender, turn it on, and drink it. You're done.
Right, yeah.
There's no drama.
Excellent, excellent. All right. Well, thank you again, Thomas, for sharing all of your wisdom and your insight on what this plant-based lifestyle can do and how to get the metabolism up and revving up so everyone can go ahead and check out your free gift. Thank you to everyone who was here listening, and I hope you got a lot out of today's interview, and continue to keep watching because we will have some more experts that will help you transition to a plant-based lifestyle if you so choose and live more vibrantly. So we'll say goodbye for now, and thanks you.
Thanks so much, Sandra. It's an honor and a pleasure.
Thank you, Thomas. I appreciate it. Have a great one. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.